You ever watch someone torch every bridge they once proudly marched across? That's exactly what's unfolding with Meghan Markle right now, and it's playing out like a high-stakes Hollywood drama. Except this time, she's not the one controlling the narrative. The BET Awards, usually a night of safe speeches and glitzy celebrations, suddenly transformed into a live, public reckoning. And leading that charge? Tyler Perry. Yes, the very same Tyler who once offered Meghan and Harry a mansion, a private jet, and covered their security when they first fled the royal family. That Tyler Perry. Perry was on stage, delivering what was supposed to be a respectful, scripted tribute. But somewhere between the teleprompter lines, he went completely rogue. He declared, "You can't build a palace on unpaid bills." The air in the room didn't just shift, it became surgically still. No names were uttered, but the message echoed through the hall, clear as a bell. Everyone knew. Gasps rippled. Social media exploded. It was as if Hollywood, in that single brutal moment, decided it had finally seen enough. This wasn't some petty, throwaway shade. This was the public cracking of a meticulously crafted fairy tale. Perry, once her most vocal and generous defender, wasn't just making a jab. He was drawing a definitive line. Years of unwavering support, extravagant gifts, personal protection, and according to insiders, not a single dollar repaid. This wasn't about being charitable anymore, it was about being exploited. And the world watched as he pulled back his hand. And then, another shocking twist from an unexpected quarter. Oprah. Yes, the Oprah. She went completely silent. No calls, no texts, no public statements. The very woman who gave Meghan that history-making interview in 2021 has now, according to sources close to Harpo Productions, entirely ghosted her. Meghan has plummeted from a global headline maker to, in Hollywood terms, a complete dead end. Think about how incredibly wild that is. Meghan was once the epicenter of a cultural moment. She wielded immense public sympathy, a royal title, and an entire media industry seemingly ready to champion her cause. Now, top PR firms like WME, CAA, and UTA agencies that would typically be clamoring to represent a royal are reportedly backing away. Why? 'Cause she's become too controversial, too much drama, too much baggage. Internally, they've even branded it the Markle risk factor. Sounds like a stock market warning label, right? But that's how gravely these elite firms view it. Every project she touches, it seems, either gets cancelled, flops spectacularly, or implodes in a blaze of reputational chaos. Remember that $100 million deal Netflix handed her? A staggering sum. And what came out of it? Pearl, an animated show, was axed before it even saw the light of day. Live to Lead barely registered a blip. The Harry and Meghan docuseries? Rolling Stone mercilessly dubbed it "Goop meets Suits" with none of the charm. It was bland, self-serving, and failed to deliver anything truly groundbreaking. Behind the glamorous facade, her so-called empire is reportedly crumbling under intense scrutiny. Financial watchdogs are starting to take notice. Multiple U.S. institutions have allegedly flagged suspicious activity tied to her Archewell Foundation. Banks are raising serious eyebrows over inflated consulting fees, delayed reimbursements, and baffling expense patterns. One banking executive, speaking anonymously to Forbes, bluntly stated that Meghan is brand rich but cash poor. Translation: she appears wealthy on paper, but her existence seems to hinge on projected success that stubbornly refuses to materialize. The 2024 tax filings did nothing to help her case. Archewell reported nearly $3 million in administrative expenses with almost zero meaningful content output that year. Legal analysts are openly questioning whether some of these costs even qualify as legitimate nonprofit spending. Personal stylists, high-end travel, media consultants with vague roles, it practically screams, "Audit me." This isn't just a bad look, it's a colossal red flag. Then there's the Spotify fallout. That $20 million podcast deal was envisioned as a cornerstone of Meghan's new media reign. Instead, it imploded after just 12 episodes. Spotify didn't just cut ties, they reportedly scorched the earth. One executive publicly called her and Harry F. King grifters. According to internal staff, Spotify was fed up. Meghan had allegedly promised far more than she delivered, and then routinely shifted blame when things didn't land. Her latest attempt at a comeback, a podcast teaser titled Confessions of a Female Founder, was meant to be her redemption arc. Even that flopped. It barely trended, and early focus groups reportedly slammed it as self-important and confusing. There's just no spark left, no buzz, no momentum. Not in podcasts, not in TV, not in publishing. Her once hyped brand now feels like a toxic investment no one wants to admit they made. In a town where loyalty is currency, Meghan's credit just ran out. Tyler Perry wasn't the only one sending messages that night. Hollywood as a whole seems to be speaking with one resounding voice, and it's saying, "Enough!" For someone who once commanded global attention with a single headline, Meghan Markle is learning just how fast the industry can flip. Invitations have dried up. Press interest is barely a whisper. She didn't even make the Vanity Fair Oscar party list this year. That's not a coincidence. According to insiders, event organizers are done dealing with her entourage's excessive demands and last-minute power plays. Special entrances, blackout press coverage, guaranteed spotlight time. She demanded the royal treatment without the royal gravitas to match. And it's not just red carpets. Her team's calls to top studios and platforms are reportedly going unanswered. No green lights. No deals. Not even meetings. Word is, she's been quietly removed from potential collaboration lists at several major media houses. At this point, it's like she's become a phantom in her own city. A-list Hollywood doesn't tolerate chaos at this scale, and certainly not when there's no palpable upside. Remember, this was someone who once had the full support of Oprah Winfrey. That 2021 sit-down pulled in 17 million viewers and dominated global conversation. Meghan emerged from that interview as a cultural force. But according to a source close to Harpo Productions, Oprah's team had serious second thoughts not long after. Behind the scenes, palace advisors had quietly warned them, suggesting Meghan's story didn't quite hold water. Back then, they seemingly ignored it. But now, Oprah is pulling away, and rapidly. Not only that, even her closest industry ally, Gayle King, has gone cold. No recent mentions. No shout-outs. Just an unsettling silence. This isn't personal, it's strategic. Meghan has become a liability, and Hollywood runs on reputation. When the spotlight turns to intense heat, even your closest friends step back. That's the brutal reality of the game, and for Meghan, the lights are rapidly dimming. Archewell isn't just facing PR problems, it's staring down what could morph into a full-blown legal mess. Non-profit experts are already circling, and some are openly using terms like self-dealing, a serious accusation when it comes to charitable organizations. Meghan's personal glam squad showing up in the expense breakdowns? That's not a good look, especially when the foundation is producing barely any content. According to leaked documents, the numbers simply don't add up. Over $2 million in administrative costs with almost no visible results. That's not a charity, that's a flashing red light. People close to the situation are starting to talk. Former Archewell contractors claim they were left chasing reimbursements for months. One vendor, speaking anonymously to the Daily Wire, said they had to threaten legal action just to get paid. Another stated payments would suddenly stall whenever public criticism spiked, almost as if internal panic was infecting the accounting department. And now it's not just gossip, it's a discernible pattern. Even the IRS has reportedly been tipped off. While no formal investigation has been announced yet, non-profit lawyers suggest it's only a matter of time. Once you start funneling non-profit funds into personal branding campaigns or using them to pay consultants who double as stylists, it's no longer just messy. It's potentially criminal, especially in California where charity compliance laws are strict and celebrity status offers zero protection. Meghan's media value has all but evaporated. She used to be able to land a cover story with just a whisper. Now, magazines won't touch her. Page 6 reported that People magazine, once a Meghan-friendly outlet, quietly dropped a planned profile after internal pushback. The issue was deemed too polarizing. Editors didn't want to alienate readers or advertisers. That's how far the pendulum has swung. Behind closed doors, her own team is reportedly fracturing. Staff turnover is high, morale is low, and leaks are constant. Her PR firm no longer handles crisis management. They're perpetually focused on damage control. And the real damage isn't just financial, it's reputational. Meghan is no longer seen as the misunderstood outsider challenging the monarchy. She's viewed as someone who manipulated the narrative, overpromised, and consistently underdelivered. Even her marriage to Prince Harry, once her ultimate PR shield, isn't generating goodwill anymore. Every public appearance they make is now meticulously dissected for awkwardness. Body language experts are making entire careers analyzing their interactions. The public isn't rooting for them like before. They're watching, waiting, predicting the inevitable fall. Netflix, which once dropped a massive $100 million on them, is also pulling back. Budgets have been slashed, creative control has been yanked, and there's talk that Meghan no longer has final say on upcoming projects. One executive told Deadline, "We expected the crown. We got a daytime blog with royal undertones." Internally, the mood is clear. This isn't prestige content, it's damage control disguised as storytelling. And then there's the audit trail. Banks like Wells Fargo and First Republic have reportedly flagged odd financial movements from her business accounts. Consultants getting paid before employees, large sums going out with no clear deliverables, delayed payments, rushed filings. On paper, she's still rich. In practice, she might be running on fumes. Despite the mounting pressure, whispers suggest Meghan isn't completely out of the game. Her new lifestyle brand, As Ever, recently launched and quickly sold out its initial batch of products, hinting at a loyal base still willing to engage. There are even rumors of a second season for her Netflix show, with Love, Meghan, focusing on cooking and gardening, trying to pivot away from the more contentious narratives. This indicates a desperate attempt to recalibrate, to find a niche where her brand might still resonate, perhaps leaning into a softer, less controversial image, even if it means accepting a drastically reduced budget and less creative control from Netflix. However, these small wins are dwarfed by the sheer weight of her PR struggles. Reports indicate a continuous shakeup within her communications team, with multiple staffers departing. While her team claims this is a strategic move towards specialized agency support for better global reach and faster response times, the constant turnover suggests deeper internal issues. Such frequent changes can severely undermine long-term strategy and consistent messaging, further alienating media outlets already wary of engagement. Paints a picture of instability, where even those within her inner circle struggle to maintain footing. Adding to the complexity, recent reports have highlighted Prince Harry's separate engagements, with him traveling for the Invictus Games and other charitable work, sometimes without Meghan. This twin-track approach, as some sources have called it, might be an attempt to diversify their public image, allowing Harry to focus on his philanthropic endeavors while Meghan tries to rebuild her commercial brand. However, it also inadvertently underscores the growing distance in their professional trajectories and could lead to questions about the strength of their combined brand power, which was once their primary asset. The shifting tides are also evident in the subtle yet powerful signals from the A-list community itself. While a few close friends might offer discreet support, the days of grand public endorsements from major Hollywood players seem to be over. The industry, ever sensitive to public perception and financial risk, appears to have largely distanced itself, leaving Meghan in a more isolated position than ever before. This subtle but effective blacklisting speaks volumes, more so than any public statement could. Ultimately, the cautionary tale of Meghan Markle in Hollywood is still being written. The road to redemption, if one exists, will be arduous. Demands a level of humility, consistency, and genuine connection that has, for various reasons, eluded her in recent years. The industry's unforgiving nature means that once trust and credibility are squandered, rebuilding them is an uphill battle, especially when every misstep is amplified in the relentless glare of the public eye. This is what it looks like when the story collapses. Not in a blaze of glory, but in a chilling silence. No invitations. No premieres. No collaborations. Meghan's name, once an asset, has become a cautionary tale. Hollywood doesn't care about titles, it cares about trust. And that's what she's irrevocably lost. There's no royal safety net left. No palace to blame. No Oprah to save the narrative. Meghan Markle built her brand on breaking away from the crown, but in doing so, she may have broken the one thing she couldn't afford to lose: her credibility. And in this town, once that's gone, so is everything.